Valmiki was a master of speech who had just encountered something beyond ordinary words. He had absorbed the life of Rama, a story of perfect righteousness, delivered to him by the divine messenger Nishada. With this narrative fresh in his mind, Valmiki walks toward the Tamasa River. By his side is his disciple, Bharadwaja, a dedicated student of the Vedas. At the river's edge, Valmiki pauses. The water is exceptionally clear, entirely free of mud. To the sage, this physical purity is a direct mirror of the unblemished mind of a virtuous man. This same clarity extends to the forest itself. In the nearby trees, a pair of Krauncha birds, melodious cranes, are lost in a mating dance, their movements perfectly synchronized. Valmiki stands in this stillness, his internal state as calm as the mud-free water. Every element of the forest, the air, the birds, and his own thoughts, exists in a state of absolute, undisturbed harmony. Without warning, a hunter shatters the peace. An arrow tears through the canopy, striking the male bird in the middle of its flight. The bird hits the ground. Valmiki watches as the creature rolls in the dust, its feathers quickly becoming drenched in blood. The surviving female bird circles the body. Separated from her lifelong mate, she lets out a piteous, haunting wail that echoes through the trees. At this moment, Valmiki experiences karunya, or compassion. The trauma of the bird transfers directly into the sage, filling his mind with a grief that is not his own. This act of senseless violence creates a sudden emotional vacuum. A mind that was just defined by perfect peace is now forced to find a way to articulate a response to absolute cruelty. Valmiki's reaction is a spontaneous outburst. He speaks a curse, condemning the hunter to lose his position and honor for killing a creature in the throes of love. The utterance was entirely uncalculated. Valmiki didn't stop to compose a sentence. The words were pushed out by the raw weight of the female bird's grief. But as the sound fades, the sage stops. He begins to brood over his own voice, catching the echo of what he just said. He begins to question the nature of the sound itself. He asks, what exact linguistic form did this reaction to sorrow take? Valmiki is no longer just the man who felt the bird's pain. He has become an observer of his own sorrow, dissecting the exact mechanics of how his grief found its way into speech. This diagram shows the anomaly Valmiki discovered. His raw emotional outburst had accidentally formed a perfectly locked mathematical structure. He notices the first constraint. The spontaneous words naturally divide into exactly 4 distinct lines, known as padas. A pada is a metrical quarter or a foot that forms the basic building block of a verse. There is a second constraint. Each of these 4 lines contains an identical, equal number of syllables, creating a perfect vertical and horizontal symmetry. Finally, he realizes the rhythm is not random. The spacing of the syllables matches the strumming of a stringed instrument, making the curse inherently musical. This specific accidental formula is recorded as verse 1.2.18 of the ancient text. Without any conscious effort from the sage, the chaos of human grief had organized itself into a perfect, repeatable order. Valmiki identifies the catalyst. He realizes that his profound sorrow, the Shoka, is what actually forged the verse. He defines this new structural form as a Shloka. In Sanskrit, a Shloka is a specific metrical verse characterized by this rhythmic symmetry and its origin in deep feeling. His disciple, Bharadwaja, immediately recognizes the importance of this structure. He commits the verse to memory, ensuring the moment is preserved. This act of memorization turns a fleeting emotional outburst into a permanent form of expression that can be taught and repeated. After returning to his hermitage and completing his daily tasks, Valmiki remains focused on the discovery, sitting in meditation under the trees. While he meditates, Lord Brahma appears. The creator god issues a mandate. Valmiki must use this exact new metrical form to compose a great poem. Brahma grants him the power of clairvoyance to see every detail of the story of Rama. Using the Shloka, the meter born from empathy, Valmiki begins the Ramayana. With this divine mandate, The spontaneous rhythm of a single moment of grief became the standard for an entire epic. The Ramayana translates historical events into the specific rhythmic language of human compassion.